Well, Coach West, talk a little bit here about kind of a preseason outlook as y'all get ready to practice here. A little bit less than a month or so away before we open up practice for the 09-010 Tigers. Let's look back. First of all, it was an extremely disappointing end to last season, not necessarily in the way we played, but in the fact that we just kind of felt a little bit empty. I know, arguably one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest teams, going at the end of the season and just, missed out there on the playoffs with some unfortunate circumstances. But if you would just kind of review us a little bit on the team's mindset and disappointment coming out of that and how that kind of propelled y'all into the offseason.
David, when the season started, we had so many new players, and they worked extremely hard at it, but we were just slow to bond and get to know each other on the court. And I think we were maybe a 5-game deficit on 4 different teams, after nine conference games, and we were just too far behind to catch up. And the kids, like you said, the kids were the hottest team in the conference and playing better than anyone, maybe right down the stretch at the end. And we needed one more game to catch up and got in the playoffs, and then it might have been a different story. But the kids know we should have won more games. It was a good season, but it was, like you said, that was a perfect term, empty feeling at the end, to feel like you're succeeding but be done suddenly. And so, the kids have not forgotten that, and our returners have already started the indoctrination process with our new players on how we must get off to a quick start.
You mentioned those returners, and obviously going in, you got some guys coming back who are going to be obviously the strength of your team, a great core of returning guys who've kind of been there, been through the wars here in this league for a year or two. Talk a little bit about the guys you got coming back, specifically some of the guys who you're looking to for leadership both on the court and off.
Well, and just to preface that with, Coach Prather, Michael Prather is been a veteran with us now. He's been with me several years, and we've added Coach Ivory Gilmore, and so I'm just completely pleased with our staff. And we've been talking and making plans and what we want from the kids, and so that leads into the fact that we have 3 starters returning, and they're returning at point guard, forward, and post. So that's a good thing, and they've already proved that they can compete at their positions. So, of course, we're talking about Jacob Turnipseed, the second-team All-Conference point guard, and James Mormon, the forward, and Josh Chambers, the post player, were both honorable mention All-Conference. And Josh was actually the defensive player of the year in the East Division, and James was like the second or third leading rebounder that's returning conference-wide. So we know those 3 young men can compete, and they're working hard and doing a good job of leading. And so obviously there's 2 holes to fill, kind of at the 2 spot, a wing player anyway, and the 4 spot. You call them a power forward, you can call them a post player, whatever. And those are the spots where our kids will compete, and they're all competing. But those 2 spots are where right now it looks like it's shaping up where it's going to be very competitive. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. We've got some kids that we really like, so we're looking to see how who battles, who competes, and who claims those positions.
With such good quality of returners coming back, you're not necessarily having to just jump out there and restock your roster. You can kind of pick and choose. That's got to be a good feeling. Who are or just maybe as overall as a whole on your recruiting class, what do you like most about this particular set that's coming here?
I think the thing probably is, we're all about competition, and I think our newcomers are all competitive, and looks to me like we're going to shoot the ball okay. Our newcomers look like they can shoot the basketball. The young ones, who might not be quite ready to play for a little while, are quick and aggressive. So we're hoping that they will come along quickly. But we're going to have competition, good competition in practice every day. And our returning starters know they've got to compete for that job. It will not be given to them. And then, of course, there's 2 spots that are certainly wide open. So we're really excited. The coaching staff is like I said, we're making plans and talking about them, and the kids are I know they're we've got maybe more leaders than a normal year, and they understand the situation, and it's just so much better when you got returners that are leaders, will compete. They can get it over to their teammates even faster than coaches can sometimes.
Very quickly, just going into, you start practice here about the middle of October. Gives you a little bit less than a month before you actually have to go down and play Northwestern again in an exhibition game, and then have another tough schedule at the very beginning. How important, you mentioned one of the problems last year was getting off to that tough start. You guys got to hit the ground running. What do you expect to see from this bunch based on their experience from last year and that leadership that those guys are going to take into that? What do you expect to see going into the start of this season?
Well, it's hard to be depressed in any area about anything. We're optimistic. We just think, if we can just have a situation where just things will fall in a normal way, I think our kids will take care of business. Our leaders are going to lead. They're going to compete. We like our recruits. They're going to get after it. We're looking for a really good year. We don't know what kind of number to put on it. We don't know what kind of place to put on it. But I'm thinking if our kids perform the way we believe they can, we're going to be happy with our year.